So Ben Shapiro and Alex Jones have been sniping at each other on social media, and it's awesome. I've been having a hard time determining who I dislike more. Yeah, it's a tough one. You got to sit down and think about it, and I'm still not sure I have a conclusion on that as to who I dislike more. But I do think I know who, got the better in this exchange. I think that's pretty straightforward. So let me explain the backstory, and then I have to show you the clip of Alex Jones melting down on air over this. So Alex tweeted the following. Ben Shapiro crawls out from under his Thought Police rock to tell real Candace Owens and Kanye West they shouldn't come on my show. Shocking authoritarianism. Maybe they should make Ben the head of the Democratic Party. So what Ben Shapiro tweeted was apparently Kanye West or Alex Jones or something like that tweeted, oh, Kanye's going to be on my show. Like Alex Jones tweeted that. And Ben Shapiro tweeted like, no, Kanye, no. And I find that funny for a variety of reasons, but most importantly is like, well, why do you care where Kanye goes? It's not like he's doing well without going on Alex Jones' show. You know what I mean? Like he's already been really erratic and saying preposterous things. The politics aside, even if you take away every political tweet he ever made, he's saying erratic, like, stupid shit. So for Ben to be like, no, don't go on Alex Jones' show, it's like, why? He's not trying to save a reputation or anything. He's already been saying stupid shit. He'd just be saying stupid shit alongside Alex Jones. So it's like, who cares? It's almost like Ben Shapiro's like, no, you just recently turned conservative. Don't go conservative and conspiratorial conservative. Stay conservative and like mainline conservative, like me, Ben Shapiro. At least that's the sense I get from what Ben Shapiro was saying when he said, no, like what's implied in that? He's saying no because it's like, Kanye, you were doing so well, but now you're turning conspiratorial. Yeah, Kanye's doing really well without going on Alex Jones' show. It's like, what? So Shapiro responds to Alex Jones, dude, they shouldn't come on your show because you are awful. Have I been unclear about this in any way? Then Alex Jones tries to take a page out of Trump's playbook. You know how Trump assigns people like nicknames and stuff. Alex Jones responds to Shapiro, since hashtag Tiny Ben Shapiro thinks he can control who can come on my show as guests and who can't, I challenge him to debate me on one of his platforms or on mine. He can name the place, date, and time, and if he doesn't, he's a neocon coward just like Glenn Beck. So then Shapiro responds by saying, no, I'm not going to debate you, and here's just a few of the reasons why. And Shapiro tweets links that it shows how Alex Jones pushed Pizzagate, and Alex Jones pushed how Sandy Hook is a hoax, and 9/11 was an inside job and all this stuff. So basically this is Shapiro saying, listen, man, you have less than no credibility, so fuck right off. I have no interest in wasting my time with you. And then Jones, in Trumpian fashion, responds and says, oh, look, Ben Shapiro is now tweeting out fake news clippings from mainstream media to defend his call for me to be banned from the internet. What? You truly are following in the steps of Glenn Beck. Then Shapiro responds, on the contrary, I want you to remain on the internet so we can all see your crazy firsthand. So, listen, I despise both these guys, but when Jones says, oh, you're tweeting out fake news clippings from the mainstream media, Alex, you believed Sandy Hook was a hoax. I've played a clip back to back, and I only played like a third of it. But just countless examples of you saying, yes, Sandy Hook is a hoax. Shapiro also tweeted out one of the quotes of Alex Jones saying about how the chemicals in the water are turning the frogs gay and shit. It's like, dude, stop trying to be a weasel and get your way out of it. Like, own the fact that you said that shit. Alex Jones says a lot of just wacky, wild shit, and then when people, like, quote him or push back on it, he's like, no, you're misstating what I said. No, he's not fucking misstating it. I despise Ben Shapiro, and oftentimes he does misstate shit. All the fucking time he misstates shit. But when he tweets something that says you're a fucking Sandy Hook truther, that's a goddamn fact. Now, since there's been threats of a lawsuit, if not an actual lawsuit, he now has softly backpedaled from that. But there were countless quotes of him saying, effectively, Sandy Hook is a hoax. So, I hate the, Shapiro points out things that Alex Jones believes, and he's accurate about that, or things he's said, and he's being accurate about that. And then Jones is like, yeah, fake news. It's not 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 fake news. And then he just makes up, Shapiro wants me banned from the internet. He didn't fucking say that. You just said it. He didn't say that. So Jones is even more erratic than Kanye. Kanye says erratic shit. But Jones is like, I'm going to 1-up that. I'm going to 3-up that. Where's the cocaine? What? Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry. I retract my previous statement. Do I really? I don't know. So after all that back and forth, Alex Jones is fucking seething in anger because, keep it real, Ben Shapiro got the best of him in that exchange. I think that's clear to see. So Alex goes on his show and just absolutely loses it and goes super unhinged. Watch.
Ben Shapiro, the unmade man. None of these so-called fake conservatives can ever launch a company. They've always got billionaires financing them, which isn't a bad thing, but we're the only outfit self-made. No one else in media except Matt Drudge is self-made. No one. Matt Drudge and InfoWars at this level. No one else. Matt Drudge and InfoWars. That's it. Now think about that. They say Ben Shapiro's buying the blaze. No, Texas billionaires that he's carpetbagged down here to get are trying to do it. And I think I'm going to call those billionaires and warn those guys, because I know years ago I've had a lot of people contact me and I never got back because I'm funding my own operation here. That's my mission. But if Shapiro really wants to get in my business down here in Texas, try to move down here, we already exposed Beck as a fake. He's out of business. He's pretty much closed shop. And you go read Shapiro's website, almost every comment can't stand him and hates him. Because it's this whole act of how he's intellectual and he's this genius and he's this wizard and he knows everything. And then almost every comment, I'm going to show you later, hate his guts. And say, oh, you're so intellectual, you use terms like Alex is awful. And, of course, won't debate me. And why am I mad? Because Glenn Beck got in my business with radio stations and would keep me off air. I talked to many station owners and managers where they would threaten to not be on their station and do all this stuff if I wasn't taken off. And now you're in my business again trying to tell people not to come on my show. I'm about to get in your business big time, you little arrogant son of a bitch. Now go back to California, go back to Los Angeles, where you came from. Wait till I go talk to those billionaires that are good Christian men, Seventh-day Adventist pastors, and lay out how you and Jordan Peterson, you think I'm stupid because I'm from Texas? Wait till I go explain to those self-made men that you aren't, as a self-made Texan myself, how you and others in the atheist movement are taking control of the whole conservative movement. And that's why the left puts Peterson and all you guys on TV and doesn't censor you with the whole atheist bent and the whole, Christ isn't God thing, all of that. How did you convince Texas Christians to sit there and prop up Glenn Beck and now you? You don't think I don't know everything about you, bro? And how you're trying to sucker them to buy the failed garbage blaze? You can't make anything, you parasite. Get behind me, Satan. We should pray for Ben Shapiro to find Christ. Because this whole act of how smart he is he just sits there, reads off a teleprompter, and plagiarizes people, in my view. So, you're in my business, Shapiro. I'm in your business now. I might just go drive up to Cisco this weekend, take a few Army officers with me, and have a conversation with the billionaires that are financing you. Maybe show them some files, Shapiro. Want that? Think you do. I think I'll do it. I think I'll get in your business. You know what happens when I get in people's businesses, boy? They ain't in business long, son. It's not hard to go after these people because they already can't help but sabotage the Christian libertarian movement. They're Judas goats. They're operatives. And that's what they do. They try to act like they're credible, get control of the movement, and then steer it into the ground. And they try to make sure the big funds out there go into what they're doing. And then they bring on Jordan Peterson, who I've been looking at and studying, out of nowhere, doesn't believe in God, but he'll tell you how to wake up, and suddenly the Atlantic and the New York Times likes him, and he doesn't get censored, and they're all together, and they're going to have a show, and they're going to come and merge with Glenn Beck. And how Christian is that to have Jordan Peterson, the atheist, that the liberals love, that Bill Maher loves, who explains to us that there are only two genders, and we all go, oh, they let him on here say that. This is so original. And he gives us some Carl Jung passages, which is fine. And he's a witty guy. I think does some good. But look at this is going to be the conservative movement. This is the new leaders of it. None of them are Christians.
Wow. Wow. I think he said a little too much there. Listen, man, Alex Jones is getting more and more unhinged as time goes by. And sometimes in his rants, he drops hints about what he really believes. And that's ugly. That was ugly. So, first of all, he says we're the only media outlet that's self-made. That's nowhere near true. Not even close to true. We're self-made. Jimmy Dore is self-made. Humanist Report. There are a lot of people who are self-made. Most of our funding comes from you guys on Patreon. $2 at a time. And if people want to go nuts, $7. There's the option of $2, $5, or $7 if you like this content. By the way, patreon.com/seculartalk. Good time to plug it. That's where most of our funding comes from. And he loves to do these things like blow himself and act like he's special and I'm the only one telling the truth and I'm the only self-made outlet. Only self-made outlet. That's not even close to true, man. Why do you say shit like that? So he says that, and then he says to Shapiro, I'm going to basically go threaten your funders. I'm going to tell your billionaire funders who you really are, and then they'll cut off your funding. Listen, man, do I agree with Ben Shapiro and his business model? No. I'm sure he has big money backers. Most of the people in media have big money backers. But should Alex Jones go threaten Ben Shapiro's funders because he has a personal disagreement with him? Come on, man. And then Alex screams like, get out of my business. You just said you're going to threaten his funders. And you're screaming for him to get out of your business? But he's not in your business. You're saying, because he's told Kanye not to go on. Whatever, man. Free country. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. And again, it's not like, I don't care if Kanye goes on your show or not. In fact, I actually probably want him to come on your show because it'd be hilarious to watch that. So I disagree with Ben Shapiro on that, but he can say whatever the fuck he wants. And by the way, that's not going to have an effect. It's not like Kanye West is sitting there and he sees Ben Shapiro tweeted at him and he was like, I will now make career decisions based on Ben Shapiro. It's like, he's not going to fucking do that. So he's just totally unhinged. But then, okay, the parts where I start cringing and actually going like, whoa, man. He called Ben Shapiro a parasite and then said, get behind me, Satan. And then said he needs to find Christ. Listen, that's all anti-Semitism 101. It really is. Get behind me, Satan, because he's Jewish. He's a parasite. Again, another one of the old stereotypes about Jewish people. He's not a self-made man. These guys can't make it on their own. They have to leech off other people. And we need him. He just said it. We need him to find Christ. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? I honestly didn't know that Alex Jones had this in him. Like the genuine, he keeps bringing up the fact that he's a Christian. And then he says, the atheist movement's moving away from Christianity. None of these guys who are now leaders are Christians. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? You don't even talk about your Christianity. Probably because it's indefensible. Nobody can actually make arguments nowadays for believing in a zombie Jewish carpenter who walked on water and who's 3 people, but he's 1 person. we're past that, man. It's not 1956 anymore. Fucking Pat Robertson can't waltz out there and make up some bullshit voodoo and then everybody believes it. Now we have science and we have the internet and people just are moving away from religion at the moment. But he keeps bringing up religion. Why do you keep bringing up religion? Shapiro said nothing about religion. But he brings it up because, yes, on some level, he's really bothered by the fact that Shapiro's Jewish. And that's the other thing, is he says Ben Shapiro and Peterson are part of the atheist movement. Ben Shapiro's Jewish, and not like, Jewish atheists. Like, there's some people who describe themselves as like, oh, I'm culturally Jewish, but I'm an atheist. No, he's Jewish. Ben Shapiro's Jewish, and Peterson is Christian. He is Christian, and he does believe in God. And Peterson actually talks about that shit. So he's wrong to say that none of these guys are Christian, number one. But number two, why are you even bringing that up? Why are you bringing up religion? But number three, the atheist movement does not love these guys. The atheist movement generally does not like Ben Shapiro. The atheist movement, I guess some of them like Peterson, but they all recognize that he's Christian. And then he says, oh, and liberals like these guys. What the fuck are you talking about? Liberals despise Ben Shapiro. I'm on the left. I despise Ben Shapiro. That's the main point here, is here we have a feud between Ben Shapiro and Alex Jones, and it's not even close. Like, I probably despise them both equally, but Ben Shapiro obviously got the better of Alex Jones in this exchange, and Alex Jones comes across looking really petty and really insecure and really unhinged. And man, he really should get some help. Like, a lot of I feel kind of bad even doing the segment for highlighting, like, how unhinged this guy is. But if you want to feud with Ben Shapiro, Alex, let me give you a little advice here, buddy. The first thing you should be talking about is the fact that Ben Shapiro was unrepentant in pushing for the Iraq war. Minimum 200,000 civilians died in Iraq. Thousands of our soldiers died. We did an offensive war against a country that didn't attack us and did torture to cover it up and then promoted the torturers. And Ben Shapiro, all along the way, mocked and degraded and disrespected the anti-war people who were factually right about everything. Shapiro went right along with the propaganda of Saddam Hussein, weapons of mass destruction, and Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda. So here you have a guy, and that's the point about Ben Shapiro, genuinely odious in his beliefs, was for the Iraq war. You should go back and read his old writings on gay marriage. That shit is literally like Pat Robertson or John Hagee wrote it, talking about the gay agenda is coming to take over. Shut the fuck up with that drivel. So, listen, if you wanted to feud with Ben Shapiro, Alex, there were a lot of things you could have held over his head. His Iraq war support, his strong stance against gay marriage, and a plethora of other things. But no. You went to attack him personally and threaten his funders, and you keep weirdly bringing up religion and dropping anti-Semitic hints. It's ugly and, yeah, it's gross. But anyway, if you can't tell, even though the funny thing is, on actual policy, to the extent we can ascertain what Alex Jones actually believes on policy, I actually agree a little more with Jones, because he says he's libertarian. He's not libertarian. He's libertarian-ish. And sometimes he talks about, NSA spying, and he talks about civil liberties being violated, and he talks about ending a war. So on actual policy stuff, I agree more with Alex Jones. Again, to the extent he actually believes any of that shit, really. But I'm inclined to defend Shapiro in this segment because you're not talking about policy shit at all. You're attacking, him personally and threatening his funders and saying anti-Semitic shit. And it's like the entire time you're like acting as if he's attacking you when he just said you're a goofball and here's shit you're obviously wrong about, like your conspiracy nonsense. But instead of firing back and saying, well, you pushed the Iraq war and, you were massively against gay marriage and, I'm sure Ben Shapiro was cheerleading NSA spying in the Patriot Act. Instead of saying, hey, you were so wrong about all this, weren't you? You took an ugly road. So even though I probably agree more with Alex Jones on policy, Shapiro got the better of this exchange, and it got ugly, man. It was fun there for a while, but then I started cringing.